What's up, everybody? How you doing? How's life? The past month has just like buzzed by. I've been so busy, so unnecessarily busy, actually, that I feel like what has been my life? Like, what has been going on? What's been going on with you? Is life good? Let me know. How are things going? How was Thanksgiving, the holidays? Do you celebrate? Did you have a nice dinner with folks? Are you going home now for the rest of the holidays? Are you off? What's going on? I made this TikTok like a couple days ago, but like, what lights you up right now? I'm really tired of talking to people about like their careers and stuff. Not that I don't want to hear about how your career is going, you're really working, all that good stuff. But like, what are your hobbies? What's really lighting you up right now? That's what I want to know. Let me know, because that's actually like something I'm really trying to cultivate in my life, is figuring out like what everyone's actually into. Like, let's just get right into it. Let's not fake it. So yeah, I've been insanely busy, just like so much work, maybe a little bit more work. Same for my girlfriend. She's been absolutely going insane. I don't think she had a day off in like 3 or 4 weeks, which is just crazy. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it is for performance artists during the holidays, and just like artists in general, because it's a big money making time for everybody. So yeah, a little bit hectic, honestly. But I do have a ton of favorites. Obviously, what I'm using to get through the day, to charge me up through life. And you know how we started it last time. And you know, if you follow me on TikTok, or you follow me anywhere else, you know that I love clothing, and I'm gonna talk about fashion. Let's get into it. First off, let's just go to recent pickups, because I think that's pretty exciting. We should always just go to the pickups. Just go to the pickups, right? The first one I have like on the back of this chair. I got this a while ago. Oh my god, I'm just like smashing it. I got this a while ago, secondhand. That's gonna be a theme, obviously. It's from Hermanos Kumori. It's made in Mexico. I don't even really know what to say about this. Obviously, I'll put it in a big thing. It's got a really crazy material. It almost feels waterproof. It's a really strange layer. I'm not even sure. It's got pockets on the side here. It's got a bunch of snaps. What I really like... Where's the tag? It's polyamide? Polyamide? I don't know. It's polyamide. But I really love this tag here. Can you see that? Can you see that? We consider ourselves to be a studio that has the versatility to navigate through the arts, graphic design, literature, and objects rather than a clothing brand. Hermanos Kumori was born in Mexico City with the intention of telling stories through our garments, and as time went, like every other project, we have been evolving. Our interests go from science fiction to pre-Hispanic cultures, youth movements, and the diversity of humans, and our projects aim to create the fictional universe where they can all coexist. In a few words, we are moved by curiosity. I have never heard of this brand before that. They're like a bit of an athleisure brand, and I fucking love that. I saw this at 2nd Street, and they sold it for $12, which I think is a complete steal. This garment has 0 damage and basically 0 wear. It actually still had the tag on it. So I think they sold it to me at an insane steal. So yeah, pretty crazy for that. Hermanos Kumori. I'll do a little video of it on, so you can sort of like see. You can sort of see what it looks like when it's on me. And actually, that also. Excuse you. Sorry, I live in New York City. That also leads me to another absolute insane thrift find. I said it in my last video. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. Go thrifting. My girlfriend and I were out getting Christmas decorations 2 weeks ago, 2 and a half, whatever, 2 weeks ago. And we were out and we saw this little sign that said vintage pop-up. This woman had like written it in chalk. We go inside there, there's this like funny little lady. She just has curated like 3 racks of clothes. And we're like, well, let's just go down, you know, we're drinking our coffee, whatever. Let's just like go down and see if we can find anything in there. And I didn't really find anything like out of the, I don't know, anything crazy. Like they had some cool older sort of like 90s high-end houses, like, you know, like 90s Yves Saint Laurent, like button-ups and stuff like that, but nothing that really like spoke to me in any meaningful way. And then I was walking towards the end, and I was in sort of like the athletic pant, you know what I mean, which is usually just some of the worst. It's like Adidas track pants that everyone's just been sweating in, and then they donate them. They're really like the ones I never actually go for unless I see something like a real grail. And I ran into these pants that the texture was so interesting to me. I had never actually felt a material like that before. I don't even know what it is. And the tag said unbranded, 25 bucks. And I was like, unbranded? That's crazy. Maybe it's like a costume. You know, New York City sometimes, like, costume departments dump costumes, you know, whatever. So I'm like looking at it. That's not the case at all. It absolutely has a tag. It has a tag from a very small boutique in Paris, which I didn't know at the time, but I looked it up and I looked up the name, and the clothes were insane. And then I took these pants off the rack to really get a better look at them, and they're beautiful. Now I'm gonna butcher the name because I don't know if it's an H or if it's two I's, or if it's an I and an L. I'm gonna butcher the name. I'm gonna show the tag. So this is the tag for them. Iosa, or Ilosa, or Hosa. I really don't know. If somebody knows in the comments, I would be so thankful. Tailored motion, okay. And then if you look a little bit further down, it's made in France at Atelier Avenue, okay. Now look at these pants. I'm gonna show you a video of them on, but look at them. The built-in pleats in the front, they have a web belt that is also built into this that tucks into the other side. There's a little like stealthy pocket that it tucks into over here, okay? And then in the back it has this insane like flap detailing. They're so cool. I'm gonna show them. They're still selling. They're still selling online for like 280 or 300 pounds. I have no idea why I got that. I actually almost felt bad buying them, almost. And then I got over that super quick when the lady handed me a 20% off gift card. And I was like, no, this is meant to be. So I got them for like $22.50. It was incredible. Or 10%. I don't even know what it was. Something like that. I think I got it for $22.50. Anyway, absolutely insane thrift pull. Nuts. Now I have 3 other things. Oh my god. Why have I done this fall? Why did I do this? I have 3 other things that I have to show. I got all of these for a steal. Every single piece I got for a steal. So I don't want you thinking I spent a bunch of money. I was holding my nose because I was like, why do I just continue to buy so many clothes? My whole goal in life was to buy nice fucking clothes for like a massive steal. Very early, almost like right after I made the last video, I picked up a piece at Tokyo 7 in New York City, which is a luxury consignment shop. They had this piece discounted and then already had it half off. I totally understand why. It's definitely an interesting piece, like not one that I would consider wearing all the time, but I put it on and my girlfriend really liked the way it looked on me, which is always a plus, which is always good. But she really liked the way it looked on me, and she also was like, yeah, it's giving very sort of, you know, Paul Mescal on the runway, Harry Lambert, who's a stylist you can look up. Very like softer man but masculine. Like the idea, how do I put this? Harry Lambert does this a lot. He dressed Harry Styles for a long time. There's something about like accentuating the masculine frame but also softening the edges. Does that make sense? Like structurally something can be very masculine but the edges can be soft, and so therefore it doesn't feel like overly aggressively masculine, but it still feels masculine in a way. It's from Costume National. Okay, right there, Costume National, right? It's a hand woven sweater. That's it. It's hand woven. It's cropped, and it's got this really strange patterning on it. I don't know if you can see that. See, like this, every once in a while it gets a little bit bigger. Like the weaving becomes a little bigger. It goes all the way down to the sleeves. What I like about it is that the bottoms of everything are like a bit rough. Not rough as in not finished, but like uneven naturally, just based on the material. It's got a really cool movement to it, like stretch to it. And the neck is kind of scooped, so it scooped. Was that the right word? I don't know. It's not. Maybe it's not a scooped neck. Maybe that was wrong. But it kind of comes down. So you want to wear like a tank top or something underneath it because it like makes your shoulders look really broad, but it's not like not like a traditional collar. It's really, really nice, and it's strangely incredibly warm. It's been really great for the past couple of days here in New York because we've had really strange weather for this time of year. Like, it's not that cold. Well, that's how New York always is, right? Like, you have to dress for like 5 different seasons if you're going to be out all day because the weather just changes so much. But it's actually incredibly warm, even though it's quite porous. So that's been a super nice underlayer. It's very polarizing, though. When I posted a fit on the internet, the comments were either ripping me apart saying it was like too cropped and like some shit I don't even want to repeat here, or other people being like, this is an incredible piece, you really scored. So I think I did it right because if like, I don't know, when people hate on your shit, it's because they don't understand it. That's how I feel. Cheers to that. Very, very polarizing. Like the same, I mean, I wear some polarizing shit. Like I'm wearing my if you know me, you know this. This is my Jacquemus Biscotti shirt. Here, I'll show you the. It's just a giant zoomed in piece of bread on a really, really well made dress shirt for Portugal. And I didn't think it was that loud when I bought it, but people have since told me that it's a very, very loud piece, and it's become a sort of infamous piece in my wardrobe. People are like, ah, the bread shirt. So I guess maybe that's my aesthetic. I don't often think I have a very cohesive aesthetic, but maybe my cohesive aesthetic is that I have like loud pieces that in my brain are subtle. The last piece I got is, if you know me and you know my fashion sense, no surprise. I got more Craig green. I got some more, and I won't stop. If I keep finding deals, I won't stop. I got it off the Real. I don't remember the timeline of me getting it, if it was during the last time that I was filming the video or if it was right afterwards. But I was scomming the Real. I was actually going Christmas shopping on the Real. For my girlfriend, something that I'm not going to tell because she may watch this video and then I don't want her to see the present I got her before she gets it. I did not find that present on the Real, by the way. But I was on there and I was looking around in the women's section and I was like, oh, I like Craig. She's always interested in some of the stuff that I wear. I was like, maybe I'll see if there's a good piece on there for her. I went in there. It wasn't really anything that I love. Craig doesn't do a whole lot of women's stuff, which is why when I saw this shirt, it stuck out to me because it's not a woman's shirt. It's a men's shirt, but they had it in the women's section, which I am only saying that because the Real was giving me a discount, was giving me a 30% discount on women's wear, just a code that I had on women's wear. And I was like, okay, that's insane. And then I also realized I had never bought anything in the Real World, so I had another code for 10 or 15% off for my first purchase. So already, whatever I bought, if I bought something from the women's section, was going to be like 45% off, which made this shirt, I think, like $45 or $50. Also, I'm not gatekeeping. Like, you can get high fashion for really cheap, and I don't feel bad when I buy something like that used to retail for, $300 or $400 for like $45. I don't care. Okay, so here it is. Obviously, Craig. From the front, it looks pretty plain. What I do like is it doesn't have buttons. Well, I mean, it has buttons, but not traditional buttons. They're snaps, and most of them are hidden as it goes down. But every like, you know what I mean? They have. You see that? You can see a slight patterning that coming through, but then 2 of them are there, and then they have one at the top, and it's all snaps. But that's not the most exciting part. I have been trying to get one of Craig's vibrating pattern shirts since I liked Craig. I think the reason I got into Craig was because I liked the collection with all the vibrating patterns. The brown shirt that I was wearing not long ago was like around that same era. This is one of them. I've only seen this shirt online a couple of times and in a different color, not this one. I've seen it in like a pink, which is just really not my thing. I try not to wear too much pink. I mean, I got a little bit there, but like I'm already pink enough. I know, I'm just like making you wait, but look at that. I don't even know if you can tell. Let's see if I can get close. So you see how it's like blurry? That's not your camera. That's not a trick of the camera. That is what it really looks like. And this shirt is literally bisected, so half of it is bisected. Yeah, bisected on that way. The other half is just that print all the way down. It's a beautiful print. Look at that. It's got like Queen of Hearts imagery in there, very like playing card-esque imagery. It actually probably has an artistic reference that I just haven't found, because anytime you Google Lens the photo, it just comes up with versions of this shirt. Okay, it's really beautiful because from the front when you're wearing it, you don't even see any of the blue. Like, you just see this black shirt, and then you turn around and you just get hit with that. And for me, that was huge. I wore it on a night out. We went to go see a Broadway show that we had been wanting to see for a super long time, and I wore basically an all black fit, and then that hit on the back. Which I think is really cool. It's part of why I like fashion. Like, you're like, oh, look, this guy's in all black, and then I turn around and there's just this insane vibrating print that makes you feel like you're going a little cross-eyed when you look at it. It's part of the reason I always loved it. It's part of the reason I like the vibrating print stuff. He got really famous for those vibrating print floral jackets that retail, like, well, not they. I don't know how much they retail for, but they don't even sell in the aftermarket for less than like $1,000. There's a fashion creator named Mark Boudelier who I love, but I got into him because he's always wearing Craig, and it's like kind of rare to see people wearing Craig. So I was really interested in that. Sorry, there's people like staring at me out the window. Yes, hi. Yes, I live in New York City, and I'm making content. Yes, hi. For pickups, that's all I did. I want to say, though, I know that seems like a lot of clothing, but you have to remember the first jacket I got for $12. Those pants I got for $25. Like I said, the most expensive thing was that Custom National for $100. So I think, yes, I shouldn't have spent probably $200 this past month on clothes, but I did anyway. I know people are like, where even that, like, even where are you getting, like, you know, like $150 or something to like buy clothes? But when I'm done with a piece of clothing that is still in really good condition, I will clean it and then I will turn around and sell it. And that's usually how I buy the clothes. So it's not some like magic mystery. I'm not making like so much money that I can just like throw it all on clothes. Music. Yes, obviously I haven't stopped listening to music this past month. The fall, I've moved out of my dark trip hop phase that I was in the fall. That's gotten speedier as it does. I feel like I do this every winter. My trip hop becomes like drum and bass for the winter time because I feel like I got to get my engine running when I'm like starting the day, and just drum and bass is. If you want good drum and bass, go look up old Square Pusher, which is pretty intense. And then more recently, they blew up, I think like 2 or 3 years ago, basically this internet artist called Tokyo Pill. A lot of anime references and stuff like that, but the music's really good drum and bass. It's a bit like dreamy, a bit like liquid drum and bass is what they call it. It's interesting. It'll get your blood pumping. If you don't like drum and bass, it's not going to be for you. That's totally fine. It's not what I'm listening to all the time, but I gotta say, when I'm on the train and stuff, earlier in the day, like drum and bass has really been... Because some days when it's 20 degrees outside and you know you have to move your body all day or be in rehearsal or do something that is not... Like you need to get the engine going. I gotta get my engine going. The other thing though that has been just changed my life in the past month, and I can't recommend this enough. I'm gonna plug a YouTube channel on my own YouTube channel. I'm gonna know the rules about doing that, but there's a YouTube channel called Humano Sounds. Okay, it's a ton of different DJs basically playing sets in a kitchen. In the past month, I have listened to one of their DJ sets maybe every single day. They have so many. They basically label their DJ sets by the genre that the DJ is going to play, and it's all vinyl. It's sort of that re-analoguing DJing and music and stuff like that. It's incredible. There's enough going on that if you want to look up and see something while you're like zoning out or something, you have a DJ to look at who's clearly, beat matching and stuff like that, and picking the tracks that they want to listen to. But most of it is just music in the background. I sort of always have music in the background on. So this has been great because it's actually gotten it's expanded my horizon on what type of like musics, like DJ sets that are out there. They'll do really insane, like I don't know if this is what they have, but it'll be something like 60s and 70s Peruvian disco revival. It'll be something like that niche, and it's fucking great. It's so good. They're so well curated. The royalties go to the artists themselves. It's fantastic. They're so great. I absolutely recommend going to check them out. It's called Humano Sounds. Once you start watching a couple of videos, you just get like 500 DJs that are all just like doing stuff on YouTube, which is also kind of interesting too. Like, I don't know if DJ things, because then at night I had a Christmas party recently, which was like great. Thanks to everybody who came. It was so much fun. But I had like a couple Boiler Room sets on there, which was great. So that's been like getting me through. I've also been like walking outside with those sets on, just like in my pocket going. So yeah. I don't know. Also, I need to just go. I think it's what it's also telling me in my life is that because I've been so busy lately, I haven't gone and seen many live DJ sets. And with a close friend of mine who's a DJ, and he's always like doing stuff. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Anyway, that was my music. Oh my god, culture, projects, like everything like that. I finally went and saw Oh Mary. That's what I wore the Craig fit to. So good. So good. Absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I knew that I would, and I had no idea it was going to be as crass as it was. I don't know how I didn't suspect that. I guess in my mind, I was just like, there's no way something like this is going to make it to Broadway. Just having like heard about it and knowing a little bit about Cola Scola before that, I was like, yes, I'm sure it's funny, but I can't imagine it's going to be like as crass as their normal work. Wow, I was wrong. It was great. It also feels like it's coming at a really interesting time because, like, as I speak, I think in the next month and a half, like 15 shows are closing on Broadway. Something like Swept Away was able to like stay up for 2 more weeks because of the internet, but it's still closing. There's a lot of stuff closing, and like another revival is opening that will probably do pretty well for a while, and it highlights this very interesting theme that we're seeing right now, where Broadway producers are so much more willing to still put money into a show that was great at one point in time and throw a ton of money at a big A-list celebrity. I'm not saying they're not talented, but like a big either huge Broadway star or you know, stack the cast with 3 or 4 super well-known movie and TV actors and just throw money at that and hope it like makes enough money to, you know, break even and call it a day. There's a play opening on Broadway right now that's like 3 massive TV actors, and I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's good. They're all good actors, but they're so much more willing to do that. And then you have Swept Away, where like some producers did take a chance on, and because, you know, whether or not it was marketed wrong or like it didn't have a big A-list celebrity, you know, there's always that question of like what really gets people in the seats. It's closing. It's not doing that well. Another show probably bid really high for the theater, more than they thought they were going to make through the holiday. They probably got holiday projections and it was lower than they needed to, and that's it. All that was to say, it's insane to me that something like Oh Mary made it off Broadway and then transferred and is doing so insanely well. It's extending its run. It's extending its run past the principals who, you know, starred in the cast are leaving now. And that's insane, especially for a play as crass with as many queer themes as Oh Mary does. And while Cola Scola is somebody now who's known, they're definitely not a household name. So it's very interesting to me, like, what works, and I think the marketing team behind Oh Mary is pretty good. Like, Cole is also a very charismatic person, so in all the interviews and stuff like that, they've just done an incredible job of just being themselves, and themselves is charismatic enough that people are like, who the fuck is this? I gotta go see this show. By the time I post this, Cola Scola probably will not be in Oh Mary anymore, but their replacement is also incredibly funny, so I think you should go see it, because it's great. And it feels rebellious and lovely that it has made it to Broadway. Yeah, I don't know. It's different. Go check it out. TV and stuff like that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't watched a lot of TV. I have not really had the time. It's just not something that I always have the time to do, and when I get into a show, I really want to watch the show to completion. And while that feels terrible because I should be watching it because I am an actor and that's basically research, the only show I've had any time for was Rings of Power, and I do not feel bad about that. Rings of Power is super feast and famine. There's parts of Rings of Power that I absolutely love, and I'm like, God, I wish I could be in this, just even a small role. And then there's other parts of the show that I just cannot stand. I don't know if I want to go too much into the parts that I cannot stand, because I don't, you know, who knows why I can't stand it, whether it's the writing or whether it feels like so much fan service. Spoilers ahead for Elden Ring. Elden Ring, oh my God. For Rings of Power. Spoilers ahead for Rings of Power. There's parts of it that are amazing. I thought the whole Celebrimbor story was incredible. They did that super well. They changed it. They absolutely changed it. But like they're working off the Silmarillion, which is basically just a codex, like it's just information that Tolkien would have put into stuff had he not, and like little short stories, and also his sons and stuff, like, you know, pumping what they know and from his notes into the show. So they're like weaving a narrative of, you know, like disparate pieces all over the place. I think the Gandalf thing was really fun. I think seeing Tom Bombadil was really fun. I think the whole Gandalf Tom Bombadil thing was like really, really cool. We always knew he was gonna be Gandalf, but you know, seeing the Grand Elf thing, that was super cool. I think they do some of those early Hobbits just dirty in the wig department. I think they're doing them dirty. Okay, what are they called? Vors or something? The ones in the desert Hobbit precursors, right? Because we have the Harfoots, and they meet this like tribe that does not roam the way that the Harfoots roam. Some of the wigs in that show are doing people dirty. Not the dwarves, though. The dwarves consistently are so good. I love the dwarf storylines. It's so tense. It's so well done. I really love the dwarf storyline. I think it's great. I think it's strange. I think it's really good. The elves, I'm like, it's kind of nice to see flawed elves. I think in the Lord of the Rings, we just feel like the elves are like these pure beings, you know, that you know, have no faults. It's nice that in this they feel like they have faults even though they're 1,000 years old. And it's sort of nice to see this ennui and distaste that they have for associating with things that aren't nearly as old as them, and so therefore they feel that they know better. And it feels real, right? Like if you were alive for 3,000 years, you might have the same feeling about stuff. You're like, well, why do I care about that? I've been through, you know, 30 times how long this thing is gonna live. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I liked it. The Sauron thing, at some points he was great. At other points, I just think it's written strangely. But what I really like, and this may be the last thing I'll say about it, because I don't want to spoil it too much. You should go watch it if you like Lord of the Rings, you like Tolkien, you like anything like that. Go watch the first season first, obviously, because it's the second season. What I did like is that they show that while Sauron is super powerful, he's called the Deceiver not because he's really all powerful and like a big, you know, he casts illusions everywhere. He's called a Deceiver because he's just like a master manipulator. He just gaslights the shit out of everybody and is super good at it and makes people feel great and uses them to his ends. And he's like got plans within plans within plans, which is really cool. I mean, eventually he does use his powers. You're like, oh yeah, well obviously yes, he's a god, but you know, it feels like the old mythology. It feels like Zeus and Neptune all doing really scummy shit to humans to like further their goals, or you know, mess with another one, you know, like hurt another god by, you know, killing the son of his human lover or something. I don't know. They always do shit like that. So it's nice to see that Sauron feels that way. He feels like real old Greek god male manipulator energy, which, but I feel like for him is good, right? Because it's like, you know, he gets them all. The girls like him, the guys like him, the hobbit, everybody likes him. Everybody likes him, you know? It's pretty good though. You should go check it out. That's really the only show I've been watching. And the last thing I'll talk about is stuff that I've been working on, right? Well, it's been a very busy month. I've been doing a lot of stuff on my other TikTok, where I do like horror games and stuff like that. You can find that. I'm not gonna plug it here. You can find that if you want. You're probably not that interested in it, but you can find it over there. And just doing some digital stuff like that. I recently performed in what's called the Red Bucket Follies, which is Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS organization. It's a big organization that raises money for AIDS research and support and mutual aid, all these things. They do a couple of shows a year. They sponsor shows that are all donation events. They're the ones who do Broadway Bears in the summer, the sort of like sexy burlesque Broadway show. And then in the winter, they do a show called the Red Bucket Follies. It used to be called the Gypsy of the Year, name change for obvious reasons. And a lot of times it's like shows lampooning themselves or making a joke of their own material, their source material or something like that, or Broadway tropes, and then they do it. This year was slightly different. The leader, the director of BCFA, Tom Viola, is stepping down. He's passing the torch. He's been there for a long time. So this year was sort of about honoring his legacy and how much he's done for the community. My friend Sarah Parker is a really great choreographer who I met doing Fiddler on the Roof back in 2016, 2017. She does a lot of choreographic work, and she asked me to go be a part of that. I'll show a clip now.
You know, it's not about thinking that you can sort of make a huge change just yourself. Sort of taking steps that are right in front of you to engage, to participate, to add your energies to a collective energy.
Yeah, so that was the intro. There's more to the dance. You can find it online. It's the Red Bucket Follies 2024. But it was a really, really nice project to be a part of. As an artist, I obviously don't mind donating money, but it also feels great to donate my time and energy to something that I care about, because that feels more worth it to me. If I can give my artistic talents and whatever I can give in that way, feels more of myself, giving more myself to something feels more meaningful to me. So I was working on that, which was a bunch of rehearsals, and then last week we did the shows. I'm still trucking along on my own personal project, Reason Engine. I'm working with an artist to draw up some of the sculpture stuff. I have an actual artist statement now, which is exciting. I believe I talked about it a bit. I don't know if I said my actual artist statement. I'm not ready to release my artist statement on it yet for two reasons. One, I'm just self-conscious of it, so I'm not sure if it's ready yet. And two, because I'll be using it on a lot of grant applications, and I don't want to put it out in the world yet, because it's going to be there for official use and hopefully to get me some money for the project. I will probably start a Kickstarter though, or a GoFundMe or something early next year, because I would like just a little bit of funds to film some of the process and maybe get sort of a plaster mock-up of the sculpture that's going to be a part of it. I want to pay an artist to do that. I'd like to pay an artist for some renderings as well. And I kind of want those things before I apply for grants, so that I can also further prove that it's a serious project. Because with grants, you want to prove that your project is well thought out and is moving along and actually has a point of view and stuff like that. You're asking for organizations to give you money to essentially, say we're helping develop this, and I want to develop it in a way that feels authentic and feels well thought out, and something that I actually have been working on for a year, not that I sort of came up with yesterday and was please give me thousands of dollars to see if this idea is something. Not that I'm saying that's a bad thing, okay? There was a time in history where artists could just make stuff and were supported by really, really wealthy people to do so. And I'm just going to say that during the time that existed, arts flourished. I'm just going to say that. That's not what I'm doing, though. I'm just trying to put out the best product that I absolutely can. And I want to pay other artists to collaborate on that with me, so that, and then eventually also use those artists down the line in the things. I do want this to be a semi-collaborative project. Obviously it will be a solo work, but there will be other artists involved. And other than that, that's it, everybody. I'm super happy to be on here and chat, but that's it. That's all I have to say. Very early January, I start a very new endeavor that I've talked about a little bit, that hopefully I'll release more details about soon. Some of you already know what that is. But that starts in January, so that's a whole other endeavor to my life. But things are gonna get a lot busier before then, just the holidays, and my parents are coming in town, so all of that. So I'll do my best to release a video, but it may be sometime late January. If you want to see what else I'm doing, you can follow me on Instagram at _Zach McNally. I believe it's the same thing on TikTok. No, it is. You can follow me over there. I do a little bit more posting over there if you want to follow me day to day. Other than that, I hope you have a great holiday. Thanks for hanging out with me for a while. If any of this stuff resonates you, or you want to know any more, write it down in the comment section below. Give me a sub. I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to still do this all the time. Probably do this, like I said, once a month is the minimum goal. That's where I'm reaching right now, but it's also my busiest time of the year, so, But yeah, it's been great chatting to you. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you have a lovely holiday, whatever holiday you're celebrating, or just a lovely break. If you don't celebrate at all and you're just going to get a couple days off because, the other people are celebrating, that's also great. I hope you get a nice, restful time. I hope you spend it with people that you love, regardless if that's your family or your chosen family, whatever it is. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you really soon, okay? Love you. Bye.